well. She's not very mobile, and as Labrov hooks on up, Carzzy's going to die again. No summoner. Ice gets the kill. Red and white makes everything all right. It's a double. Ice is 5-0-1. Bramble Smash incoming onto Daglas. He gets knocked on up, and Varus shuffle in for a pound. Nuke's taking everyone down to the ground. He'll die to the turret, but in the meantime...
Okay, I'm tipping now. Tipping as one. I come with you, attends. They have all champs, I think. I'm coming. They don't flash. All of them. Look, Ice. Yeah, Jinx. Go Nash.
My name is Sang-hun Yoon. I'm 22 years old and I'm from Korea. I started league at 2012 and I started pro player at 2019. Aggressive style. I play in LSB.
And who are your favorite champions?
Vedius.
Is there any player or any team in LEC you want to play against?
Oh, G2 is best team in LEC.
What about Noah?
No, I won't play with Fnatic, but G2 is better.
And welcome back here at the Analysts desk. It's great hearing about Ice for the first time this season. And he said, my favorite champion is Vetheo. I think we all noticed after this game. Amazing game from BDS, still undefeated here in the beginning of playoffs. And from their AD carry Ice, we knew that Crowley was amazing on late game scaling AD carries. I present you the new version this year.
Yeah, and I think even in this pop-off game, he was still playing relatively reserved. You could see it. He was so far ahead, but he decided not to take any chances, playing it safe, and obviously finishing the game with 0 deaths.
Yeah, it's classic media style, right? Everything explodes at third dragon. They do this every single time. Despite having a 5-0 AD carry, despite maybe being able to force more earlier on, that's when they win. That's when they solidify their victory.
They've been good at punishing mistakes here. I feel like that Vitality have been making, but not so much as forcing mistakes on the side of Vitality. As you said, Broxah, playing reserved, even though they had a fantastic early game, things slowed down a bit in the mid-game, the usual.
Yeah, and I think for them, with Vitality, doing typical Vitality things, you know, it was pretty easy because they would just kind of suicide into them. Huli in particular got called out a lot. A few of them had, you know, a couple of unfortunate moments, and BDS just took advantage of it.
We're going to talk about Vitality a bit later, but on Ice, honestly, how do you rate his progression, Eragon, from the beginning of the season till the point where you are right now in playoff, and what do you want to see more from him?
Yeah, I'd really like to see it because I think a lot of people thought that he was a bit shaky to start with, but now seeing, you know, even the Varus, kind of the crutch AD carry at the moment, being banned away and still performing on a high pick area like Vetheo in these front-to-back situations, still performing well is a great look.
I gotta be honest, I'm really mad at Vitality because we set them up in the pre-show about them being finally the consistent team that we want to see, at least clean in the early game in every stages of the game. Today, not so much. The other side of the Healy coin, Broxah, maybe, or how do you explain what happened
I guess
here?
we just learned that you shouldn't really compliment them, because yesterday I was flaming Vitality a pretty solid amount, and they actually, for once, performed pretty well. Now you guys were hyping them up, and here we are.
I want to take a look at the draft though to see what we had here, because Ice was saying, hey, Aphelios, my favorite AD carry, got his hand on him, but we saw the very first Karma here in playoffs was permabanned so far. What did we think of the champion and how impactful it can or could be?
Yeah, of course it's a really strong champion, right? But I think I was talking with Treats as well. Is it a bit of a fake flex when you don't really want to put someone like Hilly on it, right? You said potentially Hilly Karma isn't that free of a win in nice terms. And I don't think it's a Vetheo champ either. So maybe dialing that back down. I think it's really interesting though that Vitality took blue side because now they don't have to ban Varus and potentially pick it away themselves. I think that's definitely an angle. I loved it when Carzzy was on some kind of lane dominating pick and could dictate the flow of the game.
Yeah, we saw the comeback of Jinx. I don't know if we're going to see the champion again. You wanted to add something on this, right?
Yeah, I think the tricky part for Vitality is that for the most part they got a draft that they can definitely be happy with. Sure, picking the Karma top is new for Photon and it's a different style, but outside of that, comfort champs for everybody, really strong front-to-back team fight that's pretty to execute. The issue being that they just made so many mistakes in the early game that they never got to that point. And when they finally tried, Ice was one-shooting everybody.
Yeah, too late.
Yeah, and the fishing from Labrov was really great as well. I really thought Vitality's draft could pull off a miracle here because they had so many ways to avoid the front-to-back in the Xin Zhao R, the Akali Shroud, that they could pull it off, especially with the Enchanter Bazin combination. But in the end, they were just too far behind, and Ice took over.
We've been talking about Labrov and his Blitzcrank and how this is not the champions that you should let him keep his hands on. What do you want to see on the side of the bans, on the side of Vitality, maybe adapting, moving on to the next game, Eragon?
Yeah, so on blue side, you're more free, right, to target ban. So maybe drop the blitz ban if you want to. I think that's been a pretty big staple for a lot of the sports in EU. We have a lot of blitz players, and like I said before, I would gun for that B1 Varus.
Broxah?
Yeah,
On the bans side again, we're 1 minute away from the draft.
I'm pretty much on same wavelength. I think they should prioritize the Varus. Carzzy has looked absolutely amazing on it. It's going to make it really easy for them to play through bot lane. Not 100% sold on Hylissang Nautilus. I would like to see him on something like perhaps a Rakan, a Rel.
Bring back the Ashe.
Yeah,
Bring
the
back the
Ashe, that was
Ashe,
amazing
yeah.
yesterday. Slightly different style for him, but ultimately, I don't think they need to make too many changes overall. Just adapt a little bit in draft, clean it up where you can, but for the most part, just start playing League of Legends, start playing good macro and playing more control.
Yeah, that's the thing. For me, it's not so much of a draft issue than a discipline issue on the side of Vitality. What advice would you give players? We know what they're capable of. They did it yesterday, again, against SK Gaming, who's one of the most methodical teams we had in the early game especially. It's just an attitude shift for me, I think, here, Eragon.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a refocus angle. Hilly, get your head in the game, you can do this. Maybe bring Daglas down to help them out a bit more as well. We saw it yesterday where Daglas wasn't down bot side enough, in my opinion, on that Varus Renata lane. So maybe a shift of plan to that.
And we see BDS, they're back. They're in the driver's seat here. Is it the moment you want to innovate maybe and throw something new? We know that they're capable of this. We saw this in the first day they played.
Well, the question is how much BDS would actually innovate when it comes to it, because I think for the most part they have a pretty set style. It's mostly Adam who spices it up, but even for him it's usually a tank or a bruiser. So if I was in BDS's shoes, I would continue drafting in a similar fashion, try to deny some of the picks like Brand that Vitality has had a lot of success with in the past, and then from a draft point of view, they should be good to go.
Yeah, this time actually making an adaptation. They don't want to deal with the Orianna. Actually, no, they banned that last time. So the Azir is still up. The Blitzcrank ban, just like we talked about. And we'll have to see what they ban on the red side if it be this.
I'm wondering what the Maokai priority is going to look like. Because,
there you go.
Well, there you go. We
BDS don't want to deal with that. Very powerful jungle champion and very easy to execute. Vitality at this point in the previous draft had banned the likes of Varus. Their third ban was Darius. We spoke about them leaving Varus open and first picking it, so the question is if they still want to remove Darius from Adam.
Yeah, my favorite BDS drafts are the ones with really easy engage, right? The ones with Virel, ball delivery. Now the ball is banned, but you can still play standard front to back with the Azir, and we've seen Nuke's really good on that. The Karma, though, taken off because they really respect Team BDS. We've seen Adam even pilot it. Adam branching out from the gods, now playing Karma, Rumble, etc. It's pretty good.
We'll see what the last ban can be here on the side of BDS. What did we have last time? Do you want to ban some 80 carries, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I think if they are to touch the 80 carry pool, it would be either Kalista or Varus for sure. They decide to go for the Rel instead. Most likely just going to trade the two of them, because they know they're going to get a priority 80 carry either way. Here, they could also look for something like the Xin Zhao or the Vi for Sheo if they want to secure a priority jungler.
Renata rises up in priority here, right? Because of Blitzcrank ran, so they could look to deny that. Both sides, Kalista Renata, Varus Renata, very potent, sets up for those slow pushes. Every single slow stack you dive on, and that was exactly what Daglas and Vetheo were really good at. That's why they won this series yesterday.
Well, let's see what they have in mind right now. This pick is going to determine pretty much how the rest of the draft is going to go, deciding to take the jungler already. Question is whether they want to secure the Renata, like you just mentioned, Eragon, or if they want to save support for later and just smash the 80 carries.
I'm not buying that yet, Sheo. There you go. That's more like it.
This is staple
If you want to blind
Adam.
pick something, yeah.
This is staple Adam. Like, he's been very happy with... I might have to hold my thought there. I don't think we've ever seen Ice pick that. That's way more Ice.
Well, I like this. This is, slightly different, or rather spicy, but very much an Ice pick, something he's very comfortable with. And Yeah, looking forward to seeing how Vitality plans on punishing that Jhin. I would expect a rather aggressive support pick coming out here one way or the other.
When it comes to Jhin, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's to match the range of Varus, right? But typically you kind of lose anyway. And I also see a lot of problems with it when it comes to killing tanks. But the Ashe Varus is exactly what they played yesterday. I'd love to match it with some kind of low economy jungler who could permanently sit bot side. Something like the Rel, which has been taken away, unfortunately, for Daglas. That was his best champion. Any other options you think? For junglers, you're the jungler.
Well, I think right now Vitality should consider taking the Vi, because otherwise they're going to go pretty far down the jungle pool. The likes of Poppy, Jarvan are also available. But
wow, the Akali again.
Decide to prioritize their Akali. I would argue a little bit questionable based off of what we just saw, but again, it wasn't entirely on Vetheo, of course.
They really value it, don't they? They think it's more important than potentially jungle getting pinched. Maybe they think they have enough junglers to survive 2-second rotation.
I think it's a comfort picks also for Vetheo, and the fact I don't know if he's really comfortable on the champion, so I think he
it is
save it now.
Pointing out right now that Vitality's team comp is going to be really high execution. There's a lot of things that can go wrong if they don't play the early game near perfectly, while BDS already establishing a really solid and straightforward front-to-back team comp. Challenge for them is going to be to keep Jhin and Nautilus alive early on, because like we saw when Vitality played Varus Ashe yesterday, Carzzy and Hylissang are going to go really aggressive, and you don't want to let your bot lane play pure 2v2 versus that.
I think definitely you want some skirmishing from Vitality in that jungle role. Vi, Poppy, like you were saying, I think have a lot of value here. And you play for Vetheo or just play straight for bot side here because of that range advantage and the trade potential. Sheo is going to have to lift bot, because the way these kinds of matchups go, you kind of just chill until your jungle comes and then you try to all in. So I definitely want to see both junglers living bot side.
Well, right now for Vitality, could consider banning, I was going to say, one of Adam's champions. Darius still open, Olaf is an option. Obviously BDS do have last pick, and there's a very high chance they're going to leave that for Adam, knowing that Nuke can already counterpick their Akali. If Vitality are to target mid with one of their upcoming bans, it could be the likes of Azir, for example, a champion that Nuke has looked absolutely amazing on. Nico is open, but we'll see how it plays out.
If we see an Olaf ban here, it's pretty obvious that it's going to be a Cassante or a Zac. I don't think Adam plays Zac. He wasn't a big fan of it in PGL last week, but if they ban an Olaf, it's another setup ban for the Cassante. So I am kind of expecting that priority from Vitality here. Adam could also just pick that up though.
Well, what is it going to be? Are we going to remove the Azir? If that's not an Azir ban, I think there's a very high chance BDS is going to lock it in pretty quickly on 4. Olaf was removed like we spoke about, and well, they could still take top lane early here for Adam, of course, but I would argue it makes more sense to just leave it for 5 unless they really want to get their hands on the likes of Cassandra before Vitality takes it away.
If they take Cassandra, then they could answer with either Aatrox or Gwen. So Photon has his pick the litters. They're not going to do that. Instead, they're going to secure Azir for Nuke, which makes a lot of sense. He's been loving these two champions, Azir and Orianna.
Well, we are going to need to see what Daglas has to offer in the jungle. Vi is still available, one of the top 3 junglers at the moment, has seen a lot of success in the LEC. But there could be a potential surprise.
Right? Potentially.
We haven't seen Sejuani.
I think the issue with Sejuani and their comp is that they get countered pretty hard by Mercs, if that's the direction it goes for. I would like to see, one way or the other, a solid AD jungle pick. Viego could also work, has a pretty solid jungle matchup into the Xin Zhao as well.
I like Vi, no? Into these champions. Long range, easy. They're just going to go for the diving skirmishing. This jungle duo. What do you think, Broxah?
Vi is the boring route, but Daglas is clearly a giga chat. Like, he wants the glory, the hype. You know, I can see it working. They have a lot of burst damage, could probably easily nuke somebody on BDS's side and get some Viego resets. With Cassandra being blinded from Photon. Obvious answer being Adam, of course, is going to be Darius, and they'll have to show that they can actually shut it down. They banned it away in game 1, and now Photon has to play against it.
I mean, that is going to be interesting, because you see BDS with the comfort, easier to execute champions and composition that we know from them, and on the other side, Vitality, who apparently want to send it completely and are presenting themselves 0-1 right now with a very hard to execute composition. How are they going to play out?
So top side should be free scaling for Adam. He has pick the litter to do whatever he wants. He could even do something level 1 with some kind of cheeky invade. But bot side are where my eyes are at. You have to perma push in these kinds of lanes. And just like you said, Broxah, if this lane goes badly for the Ashe Varus, we all know how frail that kind of lane is, and it can just boom the game there.
I think there's a very high chance that Carzzy and Hyli are either going to win or lose this game in the first 10 minutes. Full solo queue style, full aggression. Either they're going to nuke everybody and quickly win the game, or we're going to see Hyli with 10 deaths at the end of it.
All right, everything for content. Let's see if BDS can advance in the upper finals as we send it to Hysterics and Vedius.
Thank you very much, Laure. And, you know, to emulate Broxah, or just to, what's the English word? To repeat him. You know, it's fight or flight, right? And talk about it in a different way. It really is fight or flight for this Vitality lineup. It can sink or swim. It'll go 10-0 or 0-10. Can they do it? I mean, you're in such a great position. You don't want to go to the lower bracket. You've got a second chance, of course, but it is just so nice to make that upper bracket run. Lock yourself into guaranteed top 3 with this win. And we have not had a game go to game 3 yet in Winter Playoffs, so it would be nice to start now. Especially before we get into G2
Yeah,
versus
we have
Fnatic.
just had 2 zeros this weekend, haven't we? It's been quick days.
What's the deal?
I mean, I feel like the upper bracket, sorry, the top teams, there's a gap, a pretty significant one between them and the bottom teams. Excited for G2 versus Fnatic later. I imagine that that'll be a pretty close series. But yeah, I'm not going to count Vitality out just yet.
Good.
They're a team that have impressed us already.
Oh, no.
VIT.
No. Hang on, wait. Okay.
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 Oh.
He's fine.
Let's wait and see, hey?
Labrov, what are we up to?
What are we up to?
They've seen Nuke. Nuke doesn't know if he's been spotted. There are pings.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It's reverse play. The
no.
ward's down.
He's fine.
Ward gained, though. Advantage. Hylissang.
But what about Vetheo? What is he going to do?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I don't know. I think you should tell me.
Okay, well, I could tell you that Vedius is just going to walk to lane.
All right, he's just going to walk to lane.
And BDS are going to start on the opposite
All right,
side of the
okay,
map.
so red and blue are going to be traded. The question is, do they know?
I guess Labrov knows there's a ward there, so yes, wait, we're doing it again. Round 4, Dredge line connects. Okay, we finally started off. Rooted in his Carzzy, ignites down, but Labrov is one shot away. Carzzy matches over. First blood surely going to him. There ain't enough damage. It's a Jhin at level 1. Dagda must be seething backstage watching this as the Boots 4 pot man is just left on his lonesome in this lane, and sink or swim. I think Vitality already starting to swim.
All right, well, a lot of summoners were used in that very interesting level 1, where it felt like that the teams were just circumventing all of the vision. Hilly, there's no way you steal this. Nah, he's going to back off. They need to get that level 2, but let's look back at it. So again, they get spotted. This ward offering so much value. Daglas makes a beeline. The stun coming out from the Viego. And just the early damage from Carzzy's E. The health bot doing wonders for Labrov, buying him a little bit of time, but Daglas and Hylissang recognize we don't need to keep this fight going. Flash traded for Flash once again.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of summoner spells burnt towards the bot side of the map. I wonder if Daglas will consider a bot lane dive in the near future. He's done a full bot side clear. Sheo is on his way as well. He has to recognize the possibility is real.
Whew. Bit of poke damage to follow through as well. As you said, here he comes. Ice is at 0 CS at the moment. Now, getting to level 2 might make this a little bit easier.
If he loses this wave, it is very bad.
It's really done, isn't it? I mean, already it's rough. And meanwhile, mid, BDS are making a roam of their own. Adam's just ghosted for this. Vetheo is one person who didn't lose his flash early on. Adam is going to burn his. I mean, he's chasing him down to the bottom lane. Daglas is here. And he gets nothing. Vetheo doesn't even burn a summoner from that. The early game from BDS is going to hell in a handbasket.
Ice will at least get a bit of farm, but he's going to be forced to base. Look at the advantage now being built up for Carzzy, a 700 gold lead. Daglas still hovering around the bot side of the map.
God.
They know that Daglas isn't on the top. I mean, they're going to definitely know now.
And Labrov's only level 2. Hilly is going to take it up for now. Daglas gets the damage in, ignites down Hilly. Good juggling of aggro. Carzzy with the next piece. And he survives, ladies and gentlemen. Worth, it's clean. And another kill to Vitality. This is such a great start.
It's perfectly calculated. Sheo would love to steal away some jungle camps now. He knows that the recall is coming through. Okay, he's going to choose to prioritize the crab. I thought there was a window where he could skip that, but Photon, expecting a potential invade, also path towards to blue buff. and mitigates it. I guess he was spotted out on a ward there, which likely deterred Sheo from actually going for that invade, which means that all of the topside camps of Daglas are also up for him to clear. He can path back towards bot afterwards, and he can look for another play. Remember that when Hylissang gets level 6, he's going to have that ultimate ready. Cleanse is, of course, up for Ice, but that bot lane is getting spicy. The Analysts talked about how they needed to find these advantages, and what a great start for Vitality.
Yeah, it was a hard to execute comp. I guess not if that early invade goes well, right? Then everything lines itself up and the game becomes criminally easier to play. 1k gold lead already, and you look on your screen, you see a 500, 600 gold lead just from Carzzy alone. Remember that wave is slowly pushing into him too. So look at the size of it. They are not on even CS, not even close. Ice just got a massive shove in, and as Sheo comes in, this is the only thing that could maybe bring the bot lane back to an even state. But do you really want to dive it at this point, knowing that Viego is going to beeline back to bot and probably be there for a count?
They've got a nice freeze in the bot lane as well. The Raptors interrupting Vetheo. Okay, so what happened there? Daglas went into his Shroud, which means that the monsters lost aggro, so they aggroed the nearest target, which ended up being Vetheo and interrupting his base. So that's a little frustrating for Vetheo. He doesn't have the TP, of course. So his wave is going to be in a bit of an awkward spot. Labrov, though, hovering, looking for some type of pick. He's just going to have to settle for deep vision for now, but he doesn't have any wards, so...
He's got a lens. Okay. Hex flash over the wall. Waiting for Vedius to come back to lane. Akali's hard, though, with flash available as well. This needs to go perfectly, but BDS pull off on the dive.
I think that's the safer play. Vetheo still lost a lot in mid lane, though. That interrupt on his back going to cost him a decent amount of farm and XP. He's only just now taking over to level 6.
Spotted.
Nice there from Hylissang. Daglas going to be spotted. Oh, actually, no, he should be, right?
Should be, but I mean, look, Daglas walking in regardless. Nuke is the first one to roam down, by the way. As you mentioned with Vedius, that makes a difference, but Labrov doesn't go in for a hook. That guy would be annihilated at this point in the game, being so far down.
So much jungle attention being spent around the bot side of the map. Hilly and Carzzy went backstage and they said, Daglas, I don't know if you know this, but enemy jungle perma-lived in our bot lane.
Yeah.
Can you make a visit, please? And Daglas like, say no more. Here he is.
Hold my beer.
Now they're setting up for an invade on the blue buff. They have to push in mids. Keep my eyes on Photon as well. He's making his way down. No, he's just going to reset for now.
He just ghosted for this, by the way. Right under Sheo. Flashes away. Daglas flashes backwards. Interesting move.
Okay, a lot of skill shots going wide.
A lot of things going wide, in fact, as well. Hilly takes half his HP. We're doing this dance around blue buff. Nuke can actually poke out with the recurve.
I feel like BDS is winning on the health trades, though.
I agree. Should they be? Blue buff goes down, and Vitality back out. The Deadly Flourish does connect, but Vedius's out in the nick of time with the Shuriken flip. Now Labrov getting poked down. Waiting for that arrow in the quiver. Labrov gets tagged, but Carzzy unable to find the kill.
That was weird.
That was so weird.
Hey, but maybe it unlocks the dragon. A lot of chip damage was thrown down onto Sheo. He did have to use his smite. And you know what? Mid has actually gotten push, and the bot's gone push as well.
Crazy.
So if this was an incredibly calculated play from Vitality to get themselves the dragon, I am impressed.
Yep.
I don't think it was, but you know, it works out nicely.
Hey, give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's a massive 5-head play. Is all the setup. Hilly ghosted for that. Daglas again, that flashback. Not sure what it was about, but hey, at least it leads into the dragon. Early dragon at that as well. Naturally, with bot being so far ahead, this is what you'd expect. There's still about a 10-15 CS lead over Ice. The first Jhin in winter playoffs. Will it be the last? I mean, again, Dagda must be backstage going, man, he hates this pick. If anyone doesn't know, Dagda is not a fan of Jhin right now. I feel like I hear about it every time.
It's one of the worst Cassante killers, I would say.
In the fact that it never kills Cassante at any point in the game.
Somewhat, yeah. Jhin has never really loved playing into tanks. Just because, you know, for those that don't know, he only has 4 bullets at a time.
No way.
I know.
We're talking to people that are level 10 just started playing.
Those 4 bullets aren't really enough to kill a tank before the tank can probably kill you. In any case, Vitality's feeling great right now. They have a gold lead. They have advantages in bot side of the map, in jungle. Top is going very even. And they have themselves the first dragon. You imagine that Grubs will be next on the agenda.
Yep.
Next tonight on the menu for Vitality. Okay. And Daglas already making his way over. This should tick him over to level 6 as well. Oh, Photon.
Yep, this could be a solo kill. Adam's going to ghost, or rather it's Photon as well, who Blanches that in the face, the dunk down. Adam's there, he's got flash, he gets flicked back though under the turret, and Daglas is there to help. Photon will not be dropping, and Vitality makes sure the top lane is just as good.
Wow, very close exchange. Adam almost gets the solo kill himself, but Photon plays just at the very edge. And Daglas is there in time to offer his assistance. Hilly now level 6, makes his way over to mid.
Very smart. He sat on the edge of that wave, sharing the EXP with Vetheo just to get 6. We'll see if it actually turns into a play, because Labrov is on a ward right now without 6 himself. Carzzy has the same. But that pick potential now up and available, I mean, it makes the bottom lane even harder, considering that we're looking at Ice here as the Jhin with only 1 cleanse. If you have Chains of Corruption, you have Enchant across the arrow, you can only get out of one of them.
But Daglas has foregone the grubs and is actually back to bot lane. He really has said, say no more, boys.
I'll be there.
I'll be
no
there.
matter what.
Yeah, they were aware of the potential dive. He shows his face. They didn't really have much of a wave to threaten a dive, but it doesn't matter. Daglas there to offer his support. Information now gathered, and that's on the entire bot side. So Daglas knows that he can choose to reset the grubs very low on the priority list this game. But look at the advantages across the board in favor of Vitality. A very different early game this time round.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say is that BDS are no strangers to finding themselves in a bit of an early game deficit, but they do this thing where they just win a team fight and then they win the game. So I will hold off on judgment until we get later on, because BDS have earned their spot at the top of the table.
All right.
They were really committed to that play.
They were.
Doesn't quite pan out though.
I will say though, this comp is not as easy as the last one. You know, you don't have consistent DPS with a 5-0 Aphelios. Also, the Darius in play rather than Adam on. It was Cassante last game, wasn't it?
I've blanked.
Yes, it was, because Photon was on the Karma.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It's hard. You know, Cassante, not really the most memorable champion. Actually, that could be a blatant lie. I mean, everyone remembers him ulting over walls, but still, he's a tank. And at the end of the day, Adam this time on the Darius. We talk about a sink or swim champ as the all-out's going to be used. Adam wasn't close enough to the wall, but the damage is there. Flash from Daglas. He heartbreakers in, but Adam under turret heals it all up. That's Darius for you, as now another teleport from BDS. They've found Daglas topside, and Photon's running for his life, but Nuke won't let him get out. They ulting for it as Vedius flies through the TP. He does a bit of a Caps moment as he rolls through. He still dies. Maybe he shouldn't have taken it here, as BDS have just been given entry back into this game.
3 kills secured off the back of Adam's great plays. The thing that was buffed this patch, the healing that he gets from his Q. The lower he is, the more he gets back. Now Vitality's bot lane. Can they perhaps get something back for the team?
Captain Jack Sparrow. Ice just gets that away from him, and Labrov takes the brunt of the damage at the end as well. So Vitality don't find anything here, bar the health bars. I mean, surely after this early game, surely Vitality don't lose this game, right?
Well, I mean, that was a big blunder from Vetheo. He followed the E all the way up towards the top lane.
Was it Caps or Perks who did the cross-map Akali flip?
I actually think that was Wonder.
Was it actually?
But I can't remember exactly who it was.
I feel like it was at a
but it was a while ago. I do remember it. They went from top lane all the way to bot lane. I've seen
Yeah.
it twice in the LEC, in fact. But yeah, that wasn't great for Vitality. The TLTR.
Well said, Betty. Well said.
Hylissang now could be in danger himself.
Daglas too, maybe. Daglas has taken a lot of dragon damage, and Nuke does some himself.
He's gonna die.
This jungler's isolated. Daglas, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I have more questions for Vitality here. Vetheo is pushing in mid. He doesn't collapse down. I mean, there was clearly a disconnect there. There should have been more coordination from the bot lane, the mid lane, everyone moving to that dragon, making sure they're on that objective first. Daglas starts the dragon off. And Nuke himself, maybe we can get a bit more context. Oh no, we're going all the way back to this replay. So this is the heal that Adam gets. The apprehend, Chain CCs them underneath the town, and look at that huge heal that Adam gets back. 450 HP, gets that initial kill.
Let's go, baby.
Then Vetheo, he sees a potential double, even triple kill here. The damage from his Q initially looks good, but then the heal from Adam right here means that that execution completely disappears.
Oh my god. I was just saying, you know, Darius from behind. Darius is 0-1. Adam won't be much of a threat this game. Well, call an ambulance, but it's for Vitality's top laner. This Darius now 2-1, a bounty on his head as well. And Adam on his pick in a great position. And now, right now, Vedius, if I was Vitality, I'd be a little bit concerned that BDS have got a bit of map state. Labrov not getting a hook there with Sheo coming down. But the pressure off their backs a little bit after this early game. Bot's actually caught up a bit. 500 gold still, yes, but it should be worse. Mid's in a good favor for Nuke. Also for Adam, he's also 500 gold up. And the gold on the top of your standings right now is dead even. And don't forget, BDS picked up a dragon. Sheo now has control in a bot lane jungle somehow. As Daglas comes through, he's going to get his red buff, thankfully. The fact that Sheo can even be here just shows how this game has gone flippity-flop.
Nuke is doing a great job of just using his windows to move on the map. He's supported Sheo very well, always looking to try and hover around the bot side. You highlighted it, the vision invested on the bot side of the map as well. It definitely feels like the pace of this game has shifted. It was very much in control of Vitality. Daglas was the one kind of doing whatever he wanted on the map, but that crucial misplay on the top side has really hurt them. So no Grubs ended up dying this game. Bit of a surprise. The Herald is now up. And with the bot lane moving towards mid, it looks like everyone is interested in contesting this objective. Daglas going for the high damage build. I imagine he's going to go for the Titanic Hydra next.
Oh, yeah.
Into something like the Black Cleaver or maybe something a little defensive. BDS, they're here to cover their top laner.
Daglas there, tags him. Sheo on the way out. Labrov there too. BDS can just start this off. They've got the priority right now. Ice has also moved into
Vitality
position.
should be able to contest this though. There is a TP available on Photon.
I'm looking at those bottom lane ults. From Carzzy, from Hylissang. Teleports there. Who pops it first? Vetheo with an angle, but Adam's zoning him off. You can see Daglas now pitching his own angle. Is at 4K. They jump on in. The curtain call out as well. Hilly is just dead, but it's a jungle trade, and Daglas now on the move, on the trade himself. It's stolen over to Vitality, but here comes Big Bad Daglas with a Heartbreaker, which is quickly shifted away. Adam and Ice on there, lonesome too, but Vitality have already done the stealing. They've got better of the kills and get something back for themselves.
A one team fight for Vitality will secure them the Rift Herald. And another advantage gained for them, showing that they're definitely not down and out just yet. Great damage came through from Daglas. They're able to shut down Sheo, and they should unlock this mid tower with the Herald as well. Nuke can do what he can, but I don't think it's going to be enough to defend this objective.
Oh, Ice in the top side.
Hang on a minute.
Photon under turret, who cares?
Carzzy.
Jhin, how good is he? Well, he's not that great at getting tanks. Photon goes back into his tankier version. It's a solo kill, but ladies and gentlemen, it's a Jhin. It's a Jhin.
I mean, that's also just what Carzzy does, right? He was full HP. He had the level advantage. He makes it look easy. Let's look back at this fight, though. Hilly on the front line, dancing at the edge of death. Sidesteps, he's the one that gets engaged on. A lot of burst drops down onto him, but that means that Carzzy is largely untouched. No real threat onto him means that they can immediately trade back onto Sheo, and then as Labrov is trying to retreat, he ends up losing his life, and BDS is just forced to disengage. I mean, this Jhin pick is falling further and further behind.
Yeah.
You see, it really didn't offer a huge amount of value in the team fight as well, but I think the way that the fight was executed, so much priority was put onto Hilly, who's not the major damage threat. If they could have taken Carzzy away, maybe there's a world in which they that fight could have played out differently, but the reality is that Vitality have like a triple threat, even quadra threats damage comp. Like, there's damage in the jungle, damage in mids, damage AD carry, and then Carzzy is Carzzy. He both tanks and damages.
Oh, yeah.
He protect and he attack. So, Vitality, as long as they can get these nice fights, they're looking to be in a good position. Dragon going to be spawning relatively soon. Arrow goes wide.
Okay. Ice just walks out of the way. What's happening bot? Vetheo versus the world, it seems. Adam is the threat you need to worry about.
Don't do it.
There.
No.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't know he had the R2 there, so I was like...
we saw an apprehend of a Zach-E, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, it was that apprehend that I was really paranoid about. But all right, he had the second R, so he ends up being fine. Vetheo playing on the edge. Setting up for the dragon, though, that's on our screens. Adam making his way through. But the problem is Akali has no ult, which means that backline threat is largely unavailable.
But Sheo's at half HP.
That's true.
I mean, a jungler running into a dragon contest without anything to his name, that's got to sting a bit. Vitality start this off. They're waiting for the pick in the brush. That's now empty of wards. It's just this outskirt one and the scuttle that he's going to give BDS information as it started off. But you can see Ice Nuke, even Sheo going up towards the top side because that jungler ain't healthy enough. Labrov, is he trying to bait in? There's an apprehend. Lock on down, dredge line. Vediyo gets the half, but it's all in the name of the dragon, which is swiftly taken away by Vitality.
So now Vitality have their eyes on this bot tower. I think it's going to be too difficult to really contest, though. There's a huge top wave that is knocking on the doors of BDS's tower. No one's going to catch that wave, so a lot of XP is going to be lost. Vetheo pushing in bot, Carzzy pushing in mid. Hook connects.
Onto Hilly, there we go, Dredge Line. Chain of Corruption follows through, but it's the death charge that finds both bottom laners. A dunk on top, and a shutdown to Adam. Just as quickly as we highlight Vitality, they get caught with their pants down after the fight as well.
I mean, Vitality's just playing a spectator there. Like, they have Vetheo in bot, they have Photon in mid, and their AD carry is just kind of watching in the river. I'm not really sure who they're trying to protect or what they're trying to set up. Maybe it would have been better for them to reset and then path towards top. Photon is now, oh god.
Is he the fast yet? Youmu's pop it. Ice, is he going to have a chance? No, because there's an all-out coming to a cinema near you. Are we doing this again? You know the answer. Down he goes. Practically a solo kill with the help from Daglas. And Baron is up. I mean, do you really want to play this game?
I don't think they should. I don't think
Not at all. Okay, good.
The Baron is not fast enough at this point in the game. But yeah, like, you have to question what the goal is for Hilly and Carzzy here. Like, Carzzy's obviously playing a lot more defensively, and at that point, he's just trying to help Hilly out. But with the mid lane being pushed out and bot lane being pushed out, I just felt like that was an easy collapse for BDS. At the very least, they get something back, even after losing so much farm towards the top lane. The gold discrepancy isn't that dramatic, though.
Yep. You know what rhymes with dramatic?
Fnatic.
Fnatic. Yeah. That's coming up next. It's the El Clasico. It is the... I don't know. I was going to give you LPL reference. It's like the new age JDG top esports. It's the old age EDG RNG. I don't know what it was in NA. TSM doesn't exist anymore. You know, what do we got?
It's like the Telecom Wars.
Yeah, it's like the Telecom Wars.
It's a classic here in Europe.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah, somewhat.
G2 Fnatic. But no, that's coming up next. And again, winner of that will verse the winner of this.
Yep.
So
next week,
that's what we got to look forward to. Yeah, best of 5. It ups it a bit, doesn't it?
So, next Dragon is at 24:30. The Baron is up, as you highlighted earlier.
Yeah, I did.
It's Vitality that have control over the majority of the waves right now. They have the push in mid because they've unlocked that mid tier 1.
Yeah.
And you've got Vetheo pushing down bot. Vitality once again making their way towards this bot lane. Oh, bit of a misstep there from Daglas. Doesn't quite connect his E onto the wall. Minor misplay, but not the biggest deal. It's difficult to siege though against this Darius, and with the Akali, she just wants to reset instead. I'm curious as to whether or not he'll go for the death cap again. It looks like that he won't do that. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's instead going to go for the Shadow Flame.
Very smart, Vedius. Well done.
Gives him a little bit more HP.
Yep.
I'd like to see him build Zhonya's next.
Okay. That makes sense.
And poor Ice. He's going to struggle this game.
Yeah, I mean, the Jhin effectiveness ratio, where are we at on that? Because, again, look, I've given it a bit of criticism. But when was the last time you saw a Jhin take over a game in competitive? I said Huanfeng. Sooning 2020
I feel
Worlds.
like I've seen some good Jhin since then.
When?
Didn't,
it's got a high win rate at LEC,
didn't
actually.
Gumayushi have a good Jhin at Worlds?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, see?
When was the last time you saw it? I'm not going to ask that because I think in regular season we did actually have a couple
It's
of
just
good
like,
games.
Vedi, I'm going to ask you your League of Legends history reels, very specific to Jhin.
And to be fair, Ice actually played this twice in the regular season too.
Yeah, it was fine.
And it was fine. It's just hard when you listen to Dagger a lot, you know? When you sit backstage and listen to him.
That man is corrupting your mind.
A little bit.
Anti-Jhin propaganda.
Is Adam fine? I think he is.
Yeah, what is Hilly going to do? He has an Umbral Glaive, okay?
What is Dredge Line going to do? Actually, Hilly might just be dead.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is dead. It gives it over to Adam. Oh no, that's an issue as Nuke runs on in. That's a shifting sands. He gets a sun turret up. Out he goes. Execution down Vetheo. Flashes. And he gets out. The turret just went, wow.
Yeah, that was a bit of a panic flash, but he made the rocket belt work as well. Credit to Vetheo. Gets himself a solo kill. This is the strength of Akali into the Azir in a side lane.
Yeah.
And that extra bit of health doing him wonders there from the Shadow Flame.
Well done.
But Nuke ends up losing his life in a side lane.
He's the shining light again, isn't he? Even though it's been a much better early game, like Vetheo last game was the hope of Vitality as we opened up the team fights, but he couldn't get to the backline. This time around, look at the tools they have. Look at the angles you have to look. Daglas is a threat. Veteo's still a threat. He's got backup this time. And with teleport available as well, BDS are going to burn nukes first, but Vetheo now in he comes from a backline ward. Labrov hit out though, stunned up, Heartbreaker through Vitality, have their first pick, and it's down goes Labrov. That's a big pick, but Daglas died in the process to ice. 4 versus 4, but Vitality don't have a jungler.
Daglas wanted to get the reset, but he was killed before he could. Photon doing what he can. The Dragon's going to go down.
But it's a smite. Now for the curtain call, though. Look for the final proc onto Photon. Doesn't do too much. Hilly gets poked over the wall.
Hilly.
It's not done yet because, look, Ice gets a deadly flourish and someone won't be able to move. Not
Nice
tagged up.
sidestep there from Photon to dodge. The wind becomes lightning from Sheo. Poke continues to come out from BDS.
I have the high ground. They shout as Vitality run for the hills. No lava here. Sheo poking in, goes back in onto Hilly. Titanic there as the pull in. It's an apprehend of the gods, but Vetheo gets shoved back. Now dunked down for his trade. Hilly walked back in feeling confident, but Adam's on a tear. And Carzzy's up next. He's got a flash available, but he won't get far. A triple over to the god. Adam is now showcasing why he is to be respected.
Vitality overstay the fight. They just needed to reset. They needed to back off. Once the Dragon was done, the fight was over. But they decided to go for the extended exchange, and Adam was able to find the play. A fantastic apprehend.
Okay.
What? Daglas, can he make this happen? Labrov is suspicious.
He knows. Blast cone there. Dredge line avoided from 2.5k. Daglas now getting shoved on to get in the pit. He's denied. And they held off on the Baron. They weren't going to flip that at all. It goes down. BDS in control. Photon now here. What's up, man? I don't know. Photon just going to charge him down. Sheo going to help
I don't think he
out.
has the damage. I really think Labrov's going to get out of this.
Oh, he buffered it. That was janky.
Gets away to safety. But just like that, BDS take control. So we come back to this play. And to this point, Vitality just need to leave. They just need to leave. But a great engage from Sheo to start off. Look at the apprehend. The ultimate was super important as well because Vetheo then feels forced to overcommit. And once he has dived in, that is Adam's window to shut him down. Then the flash comes in, the cleanup, and I think Carzzy's dead.
Well, the curtain call, you know, proving me wrong a bit. Sheo picks that one up. Carzzy and Hilly. It was fly in the bottom lane earlier. Now it's
a single fight. It's like BDS is just the one fight team, man.
Yeah.
They find that one fight and all of a sudden they blow the game wide open. They've done it all split long. They did it in the game before. They're doing it again. This time off the back of Adam's Darius, and now they're sieging down the mid tier 2.
It's just crazy how it's digressed again. Such an early game for Vitality. And now a Baron play that's opened up 2.3k. Inner turret goes down mid. It's about dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and that could very well mean setting up for the bot side soon. It looks so clinical for now. We have a Rabbit on Azir now too, by the way. So it is not just Adam excelling in this game. We have their team fighting up and running.
No, I mean, credit to Nuke. I think he really has had a fantastic split. Definitely should be in the conversation for top 3 performing mids this split. It feels like that it's really been his meta, and he's found the champions that he can excel on. And in every single fight, you see him make a play. I remember his Nico from the regular season. He had some crazy multi-man ultimates.
Okay.
And, I mean, we have to remember BDS, they lost to G2, who are the first place team, and KC, who are the last place team. But if they win this, they're making their playoff run look easy.
Yep.
They'd be undefeated so far. And frustration for the side of Vitality. They had such a good start to this game, but I felt like they just got impatient in that fight. And BDS took advantage of it.
As you said, just spectators. Sheo gets a sneaky little sneak. And Ice picks up the blue buff as well. Rest of the team just in their back pocket. And while they pressure down the top side, you can see BDS putting the wheels in motion in mid. Bot side for Nuke as well. 28.5 minutes. Now, I don't know when the next Dragon is, Betty. I don't know if you've done your homework this time.
Soon.
But it's
Less
just
than a
gonna be
minute.
theirs. God, Cloud Soul with this team is just egregious. But now we wait. It might not even get to that because Hilly... Oh, flashes away.
Hilly's like, they'll be deep in the jungle. He was not expecting him to be on the edge of the jungle.
Oh, man. It's like, that was the biggest jump scare I've seen so far. Well, no
Flash out from Hilly. All right, they're stacking up as 5 in the bot lane. I think they're not going to have the... Yeah, I think it's smart. Just back off, take the tower, reset. TP available for Nuke. Level 17 on this Azir. Should have his Void Staff completed, ready to go. There it is. He's also picked up the blue pot, so he's going to pop that the second that the next fight starts. Jhin's still at a gold disadvantage, but he doesn't care anymore. He's fine. I think that when he presses tab and he looks at the scoreboard, I think he's chilling.
True. And for now, we get to stop, you know, talking about the Jhin. I guess it's negative. I say we because I'm dragging you down with me. All it's been
You really
is a
love
complaint.
talking about this Jhin.
I do. I
haven't
really do.
had a, like, I acknowledge the weaknesses, but I don't hate Jhin.
You know, love playing him. Don't like watching. Doesn't feel the same. Deadly Flourish is there. Doesn't command it, but Photon jumping in the backline on top of Adam. Look how separated there is. This teleport flank from Nuke as well is in such a good spot. Hilly gets 3-shot. Carzzy with a second. Look at Nuke just fire away. His ult doesn't need to land. As Vetheo is the last hope for Vitality, but his team has died around him. Ice is going to force that flash out of Vetheo. A good dodge away, but BDS with another one fight, a dragon for themselves. And it's hilarious just watching Nuke auto-attack from his TP and win the fight by himself, practically.
It feels so difficult for Vitality to play these fights now. Even though Vetheo is able to find a kill, like, Carzzy just can't play the game, man.
Yeah.
It's there's so much threats, and Adam is just being an absolute nuisance. Yeah, sure, this build from Daglas has a lot of damage, but he's also so squishy. If he's not getting those resets, he's not really going to get very far. I don't know if Nuke can keep chasing this, though. It's a little dangerous to keep the hunt going, so Photon will be able to get away with his life.
Okay.
But another dragon secured. Baron in about a minute now. That's likely the objective that BDS will play for. And with the amount of damage that Nuke has,
Yep.
he's as scary as Azir.
Hope that turns into a Magi.
Wait, Sheo.
He's got Adam. Vetheo out. Perfect execution. Just wait for that audacious charge, but not going to be taken for the time being. Don't know where anyone is, especially with Daglas sending out the weird old dirt road. Forgot what it's called. Sovereign's Domination? No. Walking mist? Something like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Carzzy. Okay, it's happening again. Curt Call doesn't connect. Hey, Hilly does, though. Vitality group up as 3. Against the Darius, that's 3 pickings, especially with 3 items yourself. And as Vedius said before, if you're all at home listening, Baron's coming up. And Baron does not take no for an answer.
You can see Baron making their way onto the rift.
Look at it. Oh, I'll go in there. So what's in there? I don't know. It's my home now. It's like a turtle finding a new shell. You know, I guess this will do.
True. That's exactly what I think of when I think of Baron.
Okay, good.
Vetheo on the flank, but I don't know if that's much of a flank. The Azir turret will go down to keep Vitality at bay, and they're just going to get themselves another tower. Well played by BDS.
Yeah.
They can now just retreat back towards the Baron. I don't think they should force the fight here. I think the Baron is the safer play. They can catch another wave if they want to, but they're just getting chipped away at here.
There's the dredge line, not going anywhere into a wall. Sheo has to ulti himself because the Enchanted Crystal Arrow went out. Safe is boring, Betty. Remember that. Vetheo on the flank. That's not boring. That's an opportunity for Vitality. Again, the Shining Light. He doesn't have any summoners. But as the poke comes through, Photon all of a sudden is at half health again.
Maybe they're afraid of doing Baron because it's not the fastest, but I feel like that when you have this Azir...
With Magi's.
Yeah, now he's got the Magi's. 10 stacks. He's confident that he's not going to die for the rest of this game. And there we are. They should melt through this. Vitality going to contest the... Well, no.
It's dead.
They're TPing, though.
Okay. Teleport comes a little bit late.
Ashe Arrow.
The BDS care. Photon jumps in. He's not as tanky as we first thought. On to 3 members. It's as good as it's going to get for Vitality. Heartbreaker's in, but it's really just breaking Vitality's own heart down. BDS, it looks messy, but you can see Nuke is unscathed. Auto-attacking. Carzzy's trying, but look at this again. The Emperor clears that. Vitality running like, nah, I'd win. Nuke, again, hold my beverage as he aces them all down.
And that should be game, set, and match. Nuke 9-1-9, he stacks the Magi's before ending the game.
Of course.
And with the Nexus in their eyes and the Baron in their back pocket, BDS are going to keep their winning ways and find another 2-0.
Not dropping a single game despite how the early game went for Vitality. BDS, as Vedi said, they just seem to win the perfect team fight every time to put them one step closer towards Winter Finals, straight into the BO5 to wait for the winner of G2 Fnatic.
An impressive season from BDS. And it's just the way in which they're winning. A single decisive fight is all they need. to firmly cement control over the game. And while we saw some shining moments from Vitality, BDS just put them in their place.
Man, what a defining series. You can vote for your key player of the game at LEC on X, by the way. Adam, Sheo, or Nuke. Nuke on Azir, another bannable offense, I think.
I mean, I will say that we had like different standouts throughout the series. You think to game one, it was Ice's Aphelios with the crazy performance, with Labrov on his Blitzcrank, and Sheo with the Maokai. This time around, though, the top side of the map were the carries. The mid and the top lane are really shining, so BDS proving that they can be a multi-carry threat.
A multi-carry threat. You don't know what's coming next in draft, but a big congratulations. They move straight to round 4. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a short break. Before we get towards G2 and Fnatic to close out our week, we're going to be talking with Nuke after that impressive performance.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Laure!
Red Bull gives you wings.